Welcome back to the Entertainment Hour of Strategy Room, and as promised, we have our special guest here. You know him from his success working solo and Millions Sold with Motley Crue, and now he has a new Methods of Mayhem album out where you are part of it. And Tommy Lee is here to explain what I mean by that. So, how are you?
Awesome.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to talk about this new album. I didn't want to explain it. I wanted you to explain it. So what does it mean you're working with the whole world?
This is crazy, okay? I wanted to, with Methods of Mayhem, it's kind of like my anything goes adult playground kind of project where stylistically, musically, anything goes. So I wanted to do something really special where, and it's never been done before, where I would be able to make a record with the entire world via the internet. So basically wrote and recorded the record, and then once a week I would put tracks up online for people to download. They could jam on it, do whatever they want. I left it wide open, like free for all. Anything goes, guys. Sing, drum, whatever you wanted. And they would send their submissions back to me, and I went through thousands and thousands of parts from all over the world and selected things that would work within that track, or maybe something for a different song on the record or whatever it was. But it was an awesome process, and I'm excited for everyone to hear the record because it's got, you know, everything from hand drums from India to bagpipes in Scotland and spoken word weird people like sending stuff in. But it's really a cool, eclectic, wild sounding record.
That's amazing, and I just wanted to ask you the details because you tapped into something really cool and really new here. So when you say that you wrote it and you recorded it, you put it up, so the full songs were up there and it was up to them to kind of pull out what pieces they wanted to pull out, either put in the vocals or put in whatever, and you guys didn't mind at all?
No, it was yeah, exactly, just like do whatever you want with it. And interesting, this one track on the record called Back to Before was a pretty straight ahead, like kind of a mid-tempo pop rock track, and this guy in France remixed it and did his thing to it and sent it back and turned it into a full-on electronic dance track, which I was like, oh my God, the same chorus, same melody, really great, and it made me rethink the whole process. And so there's moments like that where there was big changes, and then there were moments where there were just really nice additions to the track, and the track pretty much sounds like it did when it went out. But amazing stuff from 14-year-old kids to, you know, people my age. Like, it's just like really an awesome process. And one of the coolest things I think I learned about this was the fact that there's a lot of talented people out there, like a lot, you know. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we're gonna keep going. I have so many more questions for you, but I just want to let you know you're getting a lot of comments. Rusty says, Tommy, can't wait to see you Sunday in Camden, New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
And some people writing in about Motley Crue, and let's see. And new bands talking about. We'll get to all of your comments. Keep writing them in. Write them in on the live chat or email us at strategyroom@foxnews.com. But also wanted to talk about how on earth. When did you have the time to go through 10,000 submissions, 1,500 a week? I mean, were you just like you're listening to music day in and day out?
Yeah, it's a long process, and like, you know, in retrospect, if I knew how much work that was, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I'm glad I did, and it was a really cool experience. But yes, I mean, I would,
That's so much.
I would start at probably somewhere around 9 in the morning, and we'd go till 2, 3 in the morning, and I would listen, because I didn't want, and we would film this, you know, daily too, because I wanted people to really know that this was really happening, and it wasn't just like, oh, send in your parts, we'll listen to them. I sat and listened to every single part. And it was a long process, but you had to do that, otherwise you'd miss. I mean, there were some really beautiful diamonds in the rough that if you didn't listen, that would have gone by, that are actually on the record. I'm so excited for the people that made the record, because on September 21st, when they open up the CD, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm actually on the record. And you know, I'm looking forward to that, because we've kind of kept it a surprise till now. So.
Oh, they don't know that they've made it?
They do not know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
So, and then I also saw a lot about how that is important to give them the credit. and as an artist. So tell me why. I mean, does that not happen a lot? You don't get credit for a lot of the stuff you do?
Yeah, that does happen a lot. And I can, just from my own experience, you know, because people talk about that. Well, how do people get compensated, or how does this and how does that work? Well, me personally, I played on a handful of records where I didn't even care about the money, because you spend the money or it's gone or whatever, and that it doesn't really last. What was important to me was having my name on a really great record. You know, that's timeless. The credit outweighs money any second. I believe so. That's what I, you know, offered the people who contributed to this, was credit on a really cool worldwide release, you know, of a record. So
yeah,
I think they'll be happy with that. You know, like I think about the most fun for me is, like, I put myself in their position, going like, man, if I was 14 years old and I was playing my drum parts, you know, in my garage or in my studio, my bedroom, and sending them to, like, let's say when I was 14, let's say Led Zeppelin, and I knew, and I was watching on the internet, they were listening to my parts, I'd have lost my mind. So to me, that's the coolest thing, you know, like, you know, somebody's really, you know, somebody's waiting to find out if they made it on this record, which is cool, you know. I know I would have been sitting there every day going, am I on? Am I on? Am I on? Like,
absolutely.
Dude, we don't know yet. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, well, you don't have too much longer to wait. And there was a great question that came from our live chat. I just wanted to read it to you. And they asked, are there any new instruments that you want to learn after hearing samples from all over the world?
You know what? There's this one drum that I've seen. It's this, God, I wish I could remember the name. It's got some crazy name, of course. That's why I don't remember it. It's almost like looks like it's from the steel drum family, and it's not just a drum. It's actually musical with notes. Not like the steel drum. I forget. It starts with a D. Sorry, I can't remember the name.
Oh yeah, no worries. So that's the one that stood out.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
But in order for you to have heard it, does that mean that they took out the drumming on the original, on the full track, and then they replaced it? Or did they just add in? No, we added it in. There are some really great hand drums from India that came, and I have some of those at home. I mean, I'd love one day to play with the actual guys that do it. That would be rad.